show. I let you deeper than I let anyone else before. Lining up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed. Skipping out, no, I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher. Higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher. Higher. Oh, you take me higher. Ooh, you take me higher, baby. Take me higher. Ooh, you take me higher, baby. Take me higher. Ooh, you take me higher, baby. Take me higher. Yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome to Saturday Night By, the progressive news show with lesbianery. I am your host, Marlon, along with Anna. I'm just now making my tea hard. And as you can see from the title of today's show, I saw that message and laughed my butt off. It's like, with the theme playing.
Home alone. I'm home alone. No caregiver, no nothing. I'm here, and that's what it is. All right. Hi. What's
That's
up?
all that matters. On today's show, as you can see from the title, this is our mental awareness edition of the show. I have two videos of it, and the first one the second one, I'm going ahead and tell you right now, is pretty long. It's like 5 minutes, but that's a little different than our main topic today. And I'm so glad, because I'm just messing with you, Anna, because I am really glad that you are on this show for this topic, because I think that's in your wheelhouse. I know this is something that you have more knowledge of than I do. So if you see me sitting over here, I'm probably learning a little more and more, just like everybody else should be. But we kind of have a full path. We do have a main topic. In the second hour, we do have a Am I the A-hole, which, okay. We do have a real or nah, which I'm already going to say nah, because then I'll give you my reasons why. The Mafia video of the week is going to be the second story I was telling you about mental awareness, and then we'll go right into Foxy's videos of the week. Just go ahead and let you know now, as you all know, but in case, like I said, because we always get new people here, that we will not be on next weekend because it's the last weekend of the month. We're trying to, yes, Theas, I did say so I could spend more time with Foxy, but it was also so we could take a mental break so we could be more refreshed. And I need that more than ever before because we're getting closer and closer to the election. So there's going to be more and more things in 2 weeks, in October. So we need as much mental focus and awareness that we possibly can, and not to break down, because we know the Republicans are going to do everything in their power to do so. So let's take a break and let's take that breather. Anyway, but
Yes.
the second hour, in the second hour, I'm going to let you know that we are having Friday Night Guys next week. And apparently would just be an Anna. But second hour, I will tell you what the topic is. It's an oldie, but a goodie, and you're going to thank me for it. So, Anna, how's everything going?
You don't know how much this is bursting inside of me, and I want to say it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm very happy that I could be here for mental health awareness. week. Um, yes, it's one of my loved topics. It's just becoming a whole lot more and more central to many narratives because very few of us are okay. And the more that we can promote mental health as being a standalone thing worthy on its own, and whether you get your therapy from talking, you have a really good friend, you have good parents, maybe. You have that awesome auntie or that awesome uncle. You could have a therapist. You could have a coach. Therapy comes from so many different avenues in life. What the professional side of it does, however, is steers our conversation a little bit better with the background knowledge of how the brain works and a little bit more knowledge than average person walking down the street of why we react to emotions the way we do and that this is okay. Even having those what do they call them? The intrusive thoughts. They should be inside thoughts. Should not come outside. Those are natural, and we come to punish ourselves for having that split moment natural reaction to an effed up situation. So I hope that just doing our bit like this and promoting talking, being aware of your feelings, being aware of where your emotions and your reactions are coming from, the more you understand yourself and what makes you tick, the more you can move in harmony with your fellow peoples out there in the world. It's something that I would wish for everybody. I mean, I remember a time when I loved to go out and like meet random people at the airport. I was a backup singer and I had my own band in high school kind of thing, so I had random people coming up to me. I used to think of the stage as my buffer and I didn't have to do more interaction than I wanted to do. But it was not a big deal. It was easy for me to come up with small talk. It was easy for me to do a whole bunch of things that now is no longer easy for me to do. So coming back to this topic that I have always, always known is very, very important because I grew up in a household where you had to talk. It was your life. Because otherwise, everything was falling down around. And if you didn't talk, you'd bottle it all up inside and eventually burst, which a few of my relatives have done. So, that blah, 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 to say talking is magical, crying can be magical, laughing, always magical. Therapy sometimes is getting deep into it. Sometimes it's knowing when to skirt the topic and go into silly stuff like Saturday night. So here we are, and pivot it back to you, Marlon.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, not gonna form an nah, not gonna form the show. See what we already got out there. Hey, what's up? also look like he's going out to a party shirt. Okay. Here's the deal about all the random shirts that I've been wearing. For years, I've been wearing this different same shirt and the white shirt. The white shirt will be returning around election, so get over it. It's coming back. But I've had so many shirts at the cruise we went to 4 months ago now that I didn't wear. So I paid the money for it. Y'all gonna see it. It's sort of like the background of a Pac-Man game, but without the little white dots of the fruit. Hey, Parker, I'm going to skip your next message because you always got to go and then ruin things. Will you all be talking about any of the DNC stuff tomorrow? Yes, we will be. Best of. And just a snippet of it. It did what it was supposed to do. So it wasn't no grandioso thing. Well, they tried to do a grandioso part of it, which okay, but it wasn't grandioso. It wasn't out there. It wasn't,
the people for whom it was meant, it hit just right.
Hit just right.
Mm-hmm.
And Parker's also saying he agreed with Anna. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this party started. Four parts of this video. Let's go ahead and not waste any more time with it. Wife being sued.
As the title states, my wife was recently sued. She lost and we had to pay. This money is a significant amount for us. We didn't have much in savings or our emergency fund to begin with, and both of those accounts are now empty. My current problem is trying to move past the resentment and anger that I'm feeling towards my wife. Until now, I've always felt like we were in a partnership in our marriage. But since I'm the breadwinner, I can't help but feel like I'm spending my money on something that isn't my fault. I've had no problems paying the mortgage and taking care of various financial burdens that come with being a married homeowner. However, I've been the only one to put money aside in our savings and other accounts to prepare for an emergency, like a totaled car, someone loses their job, medical bills, or an act of God. Not a stupid lawsuit where I know that my wife is guilty. She has a part-time job and doesn't make much money, but she pays for smaller things when she can, like groceries and random bills. But she does take care of a lot of cooking, cleaning, and caring for our pets. So, what did my wife do? And for clarity, I had no idea this was going on while it was happening. She used LinkedIn to find her former ex-best friend. She created a realistic-looking fake LinkedIn profile with a vague occupation of recruiter. My wife sent this ex-best friend, Laura, a few messages pretending to be a recruiter in her line of work. Laura finally responded, thinking the recruiter was real. My wife wanted to get Laura's phone number, but Laura gave her a personal email address instead. My wife created a second fake LinkedIn profile and started to send messages to people with similar titles as Laura at her company. These messages said derogatory things about Laura, a mixture of truthful, embarrassing things, and also fabricated BS to make Laura look bad. Her manager got one of these messages that claimed that Laura was a heavy drug user. Laura's manager talked to her about these messages because he felt like the messages were bizarre and seemed like someone was trying to troll or harass Laura. Well, Laura's team had her back and helped her save those messages. Not only that, but Laura requested that she be drug tested anyway to further provide evidence that she was clean. My wife didn't know this at the time, but Laura was pregnant. Several of her coworkers, including her manager, testified on Laura's behalf. Using the personal email address that my wife got from the fake recruiter profile, my wife was also able to find a few social media platforms that Laura was on and was able to figure out her husband's name. She did some more internet sleuthing and found Laura's husband on Facebook. Laura's husband didn't have much of a Facebook profile, but you could see his business email address on it. My wife sent Laura's husband an email claiming that Laura was cheating on him. The husband confronted Laura about this email, and Laura encouraged him to keep responding to this mystery person and to save the messages, and also to start asking specific questions about this supposed affair. My wife thought that she was being clever and ended up telling the husband that Laura was cheating on him during the work week. She even gave him specific dates. What she didn't realize was that Laura had something turned on in Google Maps where it keeps a year's worth of historical GPS data. Some of the dates my wife gave him also happened to be days where they both worked from home together. She also ended up giving him dates during a time they were both on vacation together. Laura had her husband keep responding as much as possible to my wife and to save all correspondence.
Yo, what?
Save the surprise Pikachu face, cause I should have told you this is one of them things where you fall off a plane into a car that's going off a cliff type of story. It gets way worse down the line. I'm going to keep my comments until the last video, but go ahead, Ella.
I'm having trouble discerning her motive here, as far as the fake LinkedIn and getting in touch with an ex-best friend, pretending to be.
That will be explained later on down the road, and
Oh,
again,
okay.
that's falling. That is the end of falling out the plane into a car that's going off a cliff.
That tells me already she's not playing with a full deck. This woman needs help, but she needs to leave Laura alone. Wow.
Ooh, here's the.
That you don't have something turn on telling you this is extremely messed up. This, you should not be going here. There shouldn't be any kind of, ooh, I wonder what she'll think or see or respond like today. That is sick. You're getting your whole, I don't know what, from somebody's panic of the life that they have built up, now crumbling. Something really, really wrong. Okay.
All right. Like I said, I'm gonna hold all my thoughts to the last video. So let's just go ahead and jump into video 2.
My wife was also able to find out when and where the baby shower was going to be. One of Laura's friends had created a public registry for her and had the invitation online. My wife decided to show up unannounced. The baby shower took place in a semi-public place. They had rented out an area connected to a public business. My wife didn't make herself known immediately. Instead, she looked for patrons who were entering and exiting the rented out room. She was able to get the attention of a few guests that had never met her before, and she tried to gossip about Laura. My wife was telling people that Laura didn't actually know who the father was, among other things. And by the way, Laura's husband was at the event as well. Well, word got back around to Laura, who spotted my wife, and apparently immediately put together all the pieces of what happened. All these events I've mentioned so far took place over a year or so. My wife didn't think to hide her IP address, so it was pretty easy for Laura to figure out that all these messages came from the same IP address, ours. Many of Laura's friends and family testified on her behalf. Laura had everyone save as much digital evidence as possible, and it was a lot. Laura and her husband hired a lawyer and decided to sue my wife. They had ample evidence against her. All these saved messages, close friends, and even her manager spoke on her behalf. Laura proved that she went to see a therapist once all this harassment started because she was depressed and anxious. She proved that she and her husband went to counseling after the accusations of her cheating. She even went above and beyond and had even more drug tests to show that she was clean and my wife's accusations were 100% false. She even had a paternity test done to show that my wife was, again, wrong and chose to lie. Honestly, I felt awful for Laura. She cried a lot. You could tell how much emotional stress she had gone through. She said that being pregnant during the majority of this was absolutely horrific and was worried the stress and anxiety would somehow hurt her baby. She was pained that her one and only baby shower was ruined by my wife, and that was something that could never be truly repaid or made up for. And that my wife's harassment continued even after Laura gave birth and was trying to manage a newborn child. My wife has never done anything this crazy before. I knew that she could be a little petty and jealous of others, especially people she used to be friends with in the past, but it was only talk, no action. We've had a very happy marriage otherwise. We rarely fight, we have a lot in common, and we have a lot of fun together. But she really messed up this time. I don't know how to move forward. I know someone is going to suggest therapy, but I really want to start building up an emergency fund again. We're pretty screwed financially for a while.
Yeah, screwed for a while. I would also be thinking about, even if I did have to financially take responsibility in his position, you'd be paying that back. This is from your actions, your brilliant idea. I shouldn't have to pay for this. This is absolutely ridiculous. And that it comes from a place of jealousy? Ooh. You just cannot handle you not being the center of attention. And I'm sorry, it looks terrible on you. And I am so sorry to Laura. You know, the fact that there are people out there willing to, on a whim, reach out and destroy someone's life. I don't know if you think you're getting some kind of recompense of some past wrongdoing. I don't know what's going on in your head, darling wifey, but we'd be having a lot of talks about this, and I don't know if I could ever trust a partner who suddenly is acting like this. You know, he's saying that she was petty. Oh, what I was getting at, you know, the one thing that Theus has said in the past is, you know, somebody could bring up some wild allegations, and that alone would cause him to doubt a partner, a girlfriend, I should say. It's just there are bad actors out there, and if something's feeling wrong, and if somebody's protesting like this, going, I have no idea where this is coming from, like, yeah, I would think you actually owe it to somebody that you are with to have a little bit of trust. Otherwise, you really don't belong with them. But sorry, that's a little side tangent. Yeah, there are people out there that are so petty, actually petty, that they want to destroy your happiness. You should be looking as an adult, how do I protect myself? from other people. Who am I trusting? Who are my friends? None of this should be easy. But when you look at situations like this, they're necessary. You need guardrails. You need something like a bank account where nobody touches it except for emergencies, kind of thing. That's just common sense. Ah. Oh, this is weird, Marlon. Ah. I don't know, I just get icky. Icky feeling. This is my ick.
God, I hate that word now. Everybody's using it. Ick and weird. 2 words I can go the rest of my life not hearing anymore.
Ick has been around since the dawn of time.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get into part 3, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, is either part 3 or part 4. So I apologize in advance. But I think this is the part where OP just answers questions from
The
everyone.
husband.
The husband.
Okay.
Then, 3 months later, OP posted an update. And it's not exactly an update so much as it is like a Q&A where OP answers a bunch of questions from people in the previous thread. How did she avoid jail? OP responds, I only mentioned the civil case since I felt that it was most appropriate to write about because I was originally angry about our financial situation. There was also a criminal case. Our lawyer thought that she would originally only have to go to jail for 3 months. However, we were able to get her punishment to be community service instead. She has a lot of community service hours to fill within a year. She will also be getting visits from a parole officer. Laura and her husband did file a restraining order against her. I honestly can't blame them for that. It helped that my wife had a clean record and has family that works in law enforcement. Why did she do this to Laura? OP responds, that's a good question. I asked her this question multiple times over the past several months to try to understand what this woman did to my wife. My wife told me that Laura deserved every horrible thing that my wife did to her. That Laura was a bad person, a narcissist, a liar, and just overall a scumbag. But she never really gave specific examples. I've been pressing her for more info, and when she told me specifics, it made me feel sick to my stomach. Not because of what Laura did, but because of how far my wife decided to go due to some petty things that happened in their friendship. Their friendship ended about 8 or 9 years ago, and it was over a man that they both briefly dated. My wife dated this guy Matt for a few months. Then she broke up with him because she thought that Matt had feelings for Laura. Laura said that she didn't want to date Matt because he had dated my wife. My wife decided to test her friend Laura's loyalty and told Laura that she had her blessing to date Matt. Laura and Matt ended up dating for a few months. My wife stuck around while they were dating, and once they broke up, my wife told Laura that she had failed a loyalty test. They fought, and ultimately, it was Laura who decided to end the friendship. And to be clear, Laura's current husband is not Matt. Second, I was able to get some information about what inspired her to do this, since their friendship ended so long ago. My wife said that she happened to see Laura at a restaurant about 2 years ago, and it looked like Laura had lost a lot of weight and was fit. My wife and I are both fairly overweight, and apparently Laura used to be overweight too. My wife admitted that she felt angry that Laura had lost a lot of weight, while she had never been able to. My wife was also insulting Laura, saying that Laura doesn't make a pretty thin person and that her new muscular body was too masculine. She also insulted Laura's husband's looks and physique as well. I saw both Laura and her husband in person on multiple occasions. They both look like normal, attractive people who obviously work out. I could also tell that my wife was irritated when she saw Laura at the courthouse for the first time. You could barely tell that Laura even had a baby. My wife admitted that she just wanted to do some snooping to try to find that Laura wasn't doing well in life, but she found the opposite and was jealous of Laura's success. She first found out both their job titles and their estimated salaries by using something called Glassdoor, And if that's accurate, then both Laura and her husband make really good money. She also saw a photo on Facebook of Laura and her husband standing in front of what appeared to be their very beautiful and large home. She said that she was angry because she knew that Laura wasn't deserving of any of this. She proceeded to insult Laura about how she's not that smart, not pretty, not responsible. And she claimed that all Laura did through college was do drugs, drank, and screw anything that had a dong, skip class, and failed a lot. My wife said that she's the type who would cheat on her husband, that she's manipulative, and is always up to something. Both Laura and her husband seemed very sad and exhausted throughout the whole ordeal. I never picked up anything sinister from Laura at all. I felt absolutely awful for her.
Wow.
Oh no, there's a part 4. Yes, there's still a part 4.
Yeah, it doesn't feel finished yet. I'm surprised that she's not doing jail time. Someone must have had some really good white woman tears. He's looking for suggestions. Bro, it seems like you don't have kids with her, which, if that's so, I'm really happy. Because it doesn't, she's not taking good care of herself. Period. She has enough of an inferiority complex that she had to snoop online. You know, it's too easy to fall down this rabbit hole because so many places you pay I don't know how much, but you pay money and you can find this BS. Don't do it.
When security
Everything.
and low self-esteem turns into being vindictive and revenge seeking, it turns into a whole mess.
This is a life falling apart mess. This is, if I was in dude's shoes, OP's shoes, I would not be looking at my partner the same way. I would be terribly concerned that something ain't right here. And if nothing else, my partner is a danger to other people. If she gets the slightest bit of jealousy, she could turn your life upside down. Now, Laura thankfully had things that she could prove. No, I wasn't where you're saying I was, but why? How in the world that we got to this situation where she has to defend herself against the ravings of a madwoman? Your judgment is so far off, you're not even playing on the board anymore. Honestly, OP, I don't know what else to suggest. But I would think that at this time, it is actually really important for you to separate yourself a bit from her. I do not mean going into separation, divorce, anything like that. Your life has been pulled in mercilessly. You are now in debt for something you had no control over. I don't know how your trust isn't irreparably shattered. And please look after yourself. Just as much as Laura and her husband have gone through a terrible ordeal, so have you. Realize you may not have the most stable of minds to go and talk to your partner. This is just so shocking. I mean, it, a lot of times when someone starts pushing out these, uh, she's a narcissist, she's not smart, they're projecting. It's all the inferiority, the I can't have what she has, and I am furious that she has these things. Truth is, we have absolutely no right, none, zero, to judge other people's life. Pull your head out of your bum. This is the first hour, and I am angry. I am angry. Like this. I feel sorry for the couple. I feel sorry for the guy. I feel sorry for the woman, the wife. But you have wrecked people's lives. You don't even know what you have done health-wise. She was pregnant. She is nursing an infant. This is going to darken her memory forever. She may never get over this. No, there's no amount of money. There's no amount of, I'm sorry. There is not a whole lot that I can see for you to come back from this. At all. And you are so far from being attached to your own feelings, you cannot see how much you're hurting yourself. Because really, underneath all of this, a sad little girl is crying, what about me? We could get into her history, we could get into her parents, we could get into all bunches of things, and maybe she had a terrible upbringing, maybe she had the worst of mothers, maybe, who knows? I can only deal with what I have been given right here, and we have been given a mess. Unless I'm not sure you can fully clean up.
Parker, let me go ahead and play part 4. because we almost up. Boy, the hour went by fast. Excuse me.
Sorry.
Oh no, this is fantastic. I'm enjoying myself. But let me go ahead and play part 4. And I'm going to answer your question, Parker, because that answer has the question has 2 answers. So let me go ahead and play part 4, and then I'm going to finally give you my thoughts of the story.
All right.
Does she feel remorseful? OP responds, I want to say yeah, she does. She's been really depressed since this was all finalized. However, I can't help but think that she's sad only because she got caught. She's still angry at Laura for escalating to the point of a criminal and civil case. She feels that Laura overreacted. My wife believes every horrible thing that she said about Laura. She's convinced that Laura is some kind of alcoholic/drug addict who cheats on her husband and is the type to lie and cheat her way to the top of her career. And yet, somehow, Laura is able to hide all this from everyone in her life. My wife felt like she was trying to expose Laura for the monster that she is. She feels that Laura pressing charges and suing her is additional proof that Laura is vindictive. Yo, man, you guys, I'm sorry, I gotta stop. This woman is out of her mind. She's absolutely Looney Tunes crazy. Every sentence I read about her makes her worse and worse and worse. All right, are you going to get divorced? OP responds, the thought has crossed my mind, but we've been together for so long and I still love her despite this disgusting thing she's done. I can't see my life without her. But I know that if she doesn't improve or learn a lesson from this mess, then I can't be with her anymore. A lot of people have mentioned that if she can do this type of thing to an ex-friend, then she can do the same thing to an ex-husband. This has me worried. I'd like to believe that she wouldn't go nuclear on me if we did file for divorce. I'll be taking precautions in case I have to defend myself in the future. People ask about her job, and OP says that she's a licensed masseuse. Then people ask about therapy, and yeah, OP is considering therapy with her. He writes, I'm not ready to call my wife a psychopath, as many commenters did in the last post. I think she just got carried away and thought that she was trying to expose someone that she really believed was a bad person. I'm heavily leaning towards that she had some sort of mental breakdown and focused all of her energy on this one woman and her life. I'm not going to give up on my wife yet. It's very possible that she has some underlying mental illness that could very well be treated with therapy or meds. Here's the big one. I was hoping someone would ask this. How much money was she sued for? OP writes, I don't want to give specific numbers, but it'll take 4 to 5 years to get back to where we were prior to this happening. If my wife takes on full-time work after she's done with community service and hands over the majority of her paycheck, it might take less than 4 years. All right, let's do math. Hold on. The median salary in the US is $48K. So let's assume that if OP's wife works part-time, she makes half of that, and let's add $24K to that to get $72K a year. Let's assume that probably 75% of that goes towards expenses, mortgage, taxes, groceries, all that, which leaves them with maybe $18K. That's probably high. I think I'm overestimating here. This is not great math. So if we multiply $18K by 4 years, then I'm guessing that OP got sued for about $75,000, give or take. That's pretty clumsy math. I don't know how accurate this is, but this, just kind of a shot in the dark. If I'm right, though, that is a ton of money.
All right. Let me give you my opinion on the whole thing. And I'm going to start off with a story that was told after this story was told. Trigger alert, there's child assault in this story, but the story is going to make sense once I tell you. An attorney was saying that she got called by this woman in a small town because her ex-husband, she feels like, is sexually assaulting her kids. But she can't do anything about it because it's a small town and all the judges know each other and all the cops know each other and all of them are friends with the ex-husband. Well, they went in, as she said, guns are blazing, filing papers, blah, 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 left and right. Well, the attorney for the husband wrote back to them and said, the woman is lying and we have proof about it. Come to find out, the woman was lying. And the fact of the matter is, she was lying so much that she was the one that was assaulting the children to pin it on the ex-husband. The reason I told that story was to say this. We're going to start off with jealousy and envy. So I really believe what Anna is right on that. But jealousy and envy is not a mental illness, it's a feeling. However, what is mental illness is the way, I apologize, I'm getting hoarse. The mental illness part of it was what the second story I just told you was what the lady said. The lady thought that her husband was so guilty, she was falsifying anything to blame the husband. Marlon, what they got to do with this story? This woman truly believes that Laura is a monster and that she has manipulated and she has fooled everybody except her. Could Laura, that part where she went and flunked classes and drunk and did drugs and did everybody at the college that had a dog, that could have been absolutely freaking true. That could have been true. And for this, the wife, that made it worse for her. Because in her eyes, how could somebody who drunk all the way through college, who did drugs all the way through college, who screwed half on the college campus and everything, turn out to be a success at the end? So there is something that's going on. There is impossible. She is fooling everybody. I'm the only one who sees the truth. And yeah, I know I'm probably making up a lot of stuff, but if you investigate her enough, if you investigate Laura enough, you're going to find the truth and you're going to see what is going on. This is the part where I say that's mental health. Because if you want me to put it into Fighter's perspective, what's the difference between what that wife did and Trump said the election was stolen? You can't believe it happened to you. Oh, I see where you're going, Anna. Okay. Everybody keeps saying Trump is lying. Trump is lying. The election wasn't stolen. He's just mad that he lost. I'm one of the few people that says, no, I think that Trump really does believe it was stolen because he could not believe that he lost. There is no way that he lost. If you say something long enough in your psyche, if you say something to yourself long enough, you really start to believe it. Look at QAnon. If you say something long enough, if you read something long, you got to go QAnon. People of Fox, fans of Fox, if you see something long enough, you read something long enough, you watch something long enough, whatever they're spewing, whatever they're saying, you start to believe it. Even when the facts are looking you in the face, it's not the facts that you want. She could not believe that she lost weight and she couldn't, so that had to be a lie. She could not believe that she made a lot of money. That had to be a lie. She could not believe that she got married and be successful. That was a lie. She could not believe that she got that house, that big house. That's a lie. Going back to losing the weight, she could not believe that she looked really good losing weight because she had to come up with, you look ugly and you don't look right with a whole bunch of muscles and everything else. When the husband even said she ain't got no muscle on her. And surprising enough, she looked darn good being pregnant that you could barely tell that she was pregnant. She could not believe that she got a nice, decent job because you're a drug addict and an alcoholic and everything else. That's what I remember you by. So how in the world could anybody possibly hire you? The narcissist part of it, very small narcissist part of it, wasn't even in the whole story. It actually was the last part of the story. And that's also a part of her believing she was doing the right thing, believing she was showing how bad Laura was. The last part of it was, see, she sued me. That shows that she went overboard. That's the narcissist. That's the part, that's the only part where I see her being a narcissist. The rest of the story is just, I'm making up a word here, mentally denial. She just can't believe at what she saw 8 years ago, 9 years ago, which I'm a feed onto that too, because I hate another reason why I don't like this wife. 9 years ago, the woman that she was best friends with turned out to be this woman. She just can't believe it. Now, going 8, 9 years ago, let's go backwards. If you are a fan of this show, you've been on this show long enough for me to tell you, I hate tests. Do not test me. I don't like tests because, one, it makes me feel like a child, really and truly. And number two, no, I do not want to be tested because I don't need somebody to test me when you're the only one that knows the answer. If you didn't want her to date your ex-boyfriend, put your big girl pants on and say, I don't want you dating my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend. Laura didn't even want to date her. And she told you the reason why she didn't want to date her. You're the one that pushed her to date her. And this is what makes it so funny. And it didn't even last. The boyfriend is not the husband. It didn't even last.
The phrase you were looking for was cognitive dissonance.
Oh, thank you. That's
so far away from reality.
That's worked better than my little made up word. But OP, in all seriousness, with you, I couldn't stay at all. I would do what I heard of another Reddit story where the lady basically went ghost. She got a job far away from her husband as she could possibly make it. She had a job set up. She had all the money set up. She had an apartment in the new city that she was going to stay in set up. And she just left. She kept a circle of people who knew where she is really small. And when I say really small, I really think she only told her best friend and her mama. Like, she kept it really small. I'm thinking you may need to be in that same thing. Pay the money, save up your money, and get up out of here. Because, yes, I'm with the other Reddit people when they say, if she could do that to a ex-best friend from 8 to 9 years ago, could she do this to an ex-husband? I truly believe she could, without a doubt in my mind. Without a doubt in my mind, she would do that. And you need to distance yourself, because there's a reason why you distance yourself, because the main thing is always going to be spousal abuse. That's why I said you need to get as far away. I don't mean move out of that place and go to a hotel room somewhere in the city or even the next city over. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you need to leave the freaking state. So when all that stuff come about, you can do deniable, whatever the word, deniable. They can't say it's you. What's the word? I know I'm missing it. Undeniable.
The cognitive dissonance.
That's not it again. But They can't say
No?
they can't get it on you. No, the deniable.
Oh, plausible deniability. That's what you're looking for,
Yeah, thank you. That's what I was
right?
thinking about. Yes, they can't blame it on you. You wasn't there. When did I put my hands on her? Oh yeah, sorry, I was already over here. And all this need to be through the attorney, by the way. You ain't taking, you're taking, and this is something that I learned thanks to Reddit. Reddit can do some good things sometimes.
Okay.
You do not block her, but you do not take a phone call from her at all. You force her to text you, and you keep every single text, but do not take a call from her. Period. Do not take a call from her at all. You are forcing her to text you. And believe me, when we talked about this woman, she gonna text some really crazy stuff. To the point where I also said you may not be working at the same job. So I'm just letting you know, please do not transfer. Sorry, but not sorry. Because apparently this woman has no problem going to your job to get you. So Parker, to answer your question, I assume the answer is no. But do you think she knew Laura was pregnant when she started seeing the co-workers' messages? No, she did not know. And also, and it would not have mattered. Y'all saw a very strong, I didn't even say a pivot, just a small loop. So she was saying, you're bad. You're a terrible worker. You're on drugs. You're cheating on your husband. There's no way that you could be happily married. You're doing this, that, and the other. Then she found out she was pregnant. What did she do? I'm going to go to the baby shower.
Yeah.
It's just small little pivot. That's all. It was a Madden 2010 juke left just to keep going straight. That's all it was to it. So her knowing that she was pregnant wasn't gonna make a dang difference. She already put in the fact that she thinks she knows that she's cheating on her husband. The small little pivot was, okay, now I can put in there she don't even know who the daddy is. So did she know? No. Did she care? No. That just added. Lack of self-control.
That's part of it.
That's I'm trying. I don't think she wanted to have control. I don't think she wanted to control anything that she was doing. Um, Looking from the outside in, yes, you're right, Parker. It is a lack of self-control. She was jealous, like I said at the beginning, but the lack of self-control was she didn't want to control that. So that's why I said she needs to go see help because she really thinks she's the good guy. That Laura manipulated everybody and she's the only person that sees through her lies. She fooled the husband, she fooled the employees, she fooled the judge, she probably fooling the psychiatrist for the marital issues that may come up. She fooled the people who took the drug test to prove she's not on drugs. She is fooling everybody, and your wife is the only one that sees the truth. Bruh, she needs help. And the way I'm looking at it, it's going to be years and years of help. This is not a sit down, let's talk for 5 minutes, and her going, oh, I see what you're doing. I see what I did wrong. Oh, you're right. I need to apologize to Laura, which that's not a good idea. But yeah, that's my thought on it. Is I'm done.
I can see, yeah, okay. Like, she is jealous. I know she doesn't know how to control herself because she is mentally unstable, unwell, and unable to grasp reality. It's her against the world. And I know, OP, you feel like this is still the woman you fell in love with, and you want to give it a try. This is a completely different partner that you are telling us about now. Um, there are little things of what she said that made me, huh? That comment about, yeah, oh, you look so nasty, and masculine. Can I tell you how much I am hating this rhetoric? If somebody gets a bit of muscle on them and they're female, suddenly they are masculine. And we just saw a world renowned author and one of the richest men on earth get pulled into a lawsuit because they were deep in their feelings about the way a picture looked and the way they perceived the person from within it. I'm talking about, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce her name, Imani Khalid, or maybe Iman. Apologies, I know I'm getting that wrong.
Parker
The
Steele.
whole, she's a man, she's a he, and this rhetoric that Rowling did, that isn't this the perfect picture of men's rights? A man enjoying the pain on a woman's face after punching her in the face. Woman, this is Olympic boxing. Yeah, punching in the face is kind of what happens. There is no proof whatsoever of any of the stories going that the boxing league, which has a lot, the International Boxing League has a lot left to be desired. A story went around that Imani had XY chromosomes. No proof of that. That she had a lot of testosterone. Okay, guess what? That there are medical reasons that could have been, but let's just get to the point of we are all different. Our hormones are not going to be exactly the same. And the moment that you devolve into this transphobic rhetoric, you just you lose all credibility. You know, Imani's from a country where being a trans person is illegal. Yeah. Think they're gonna send a trans man or woman to the Olympics? Like, yeah, no. You actually could have been putting her life in danger. And that's where I want to pivot back to our story because you never know the full extent of what happens once you shoot your words out there, weaponize those words against another person, what the end result will be. You have no idea about their mental status. Are they able to take it? Are they able to brush it off? Are they able to rely on a good family, maybe partner? You don't know. This is so. It's morally reprehensible to step into this world of I need to make the world see what this person is. No, no, you don't. And that's what a sane brain would go, whoa. Even if you had these little flash moments of, oh God, I wish you would get hers. You should realize how far out of a statement you just made. We are in an age where social media is unaliving young girls because they cannot deal with the pressure of being bullied. We have had a couple of generations now growing up with so much access and giving so much access of yourself to online. It's this is a whole new world that we are in. Really, in my lifetime, we have gone to having computers in most households, where most schools are giving their kids notebooks and laptops to do their schoolwork with. Kids have the access. They're watching us to see what we do. Believe me, no matter how hard you think you're hiding, you're not totally hiding, ever. Because these days, your digital footprint means something so completely different than your actual footprint out in the world. I mean, there are times when I have to explain to Mama Hart that this is how police can get the physical address of a person who was sending the messages from an internet address. You know, the sleuthing can be done, the connections can be made, and they will be made. Not enough people understand. This is beyond serious. We're talking This is beyond mental health. Somebody's livelihood, somebody's life, somebody's baby, somebody's health. This is just wrong. We have to be able to listen to those voices inside our heads. We're going, I don't think this is such a good idea. Because, we do all have voices. We do talk to ourselves. Very natural thing. Happens to us all. It was obvious that this lady was divorced from reality from about halfway through that first video. This insistence of she's fooling everybody and I have a life's mission now to out her. No, you don't. And look at what you have done to your life because you followed that foolishness. Do I think she will ever truly grasp what she did? Not anytime soon. She's going to need so much of a shift of perspective. I'm not sure she will truly get there. I would think this sounds like a case where medications are probably needed. And yeah, if she was able to pick up and drop a life from 8-9 years ago, think of how hurt she will be and how she will not handle her feelings well, like an adult. You will be the new villain. You will be where everything is centered of her efforts to say, there's something now wrong with you. And this is where I say, please start to separate yourself. Even if you cannot do that physically right now, you really need to start. Get a bank account back in your own name. I would say, as soon as you can, out of there. As soon as you can may not be for a couple of years. I understand that. Because you are still dealing with feelings. Feelings can sometimes be that little crutch that holds us back. But the sooner that you can really face yourself, I hope you can talk to family, talk to friends, and get more of a perspective on how not okay this was. This wasn't just your wife having a little breakdown. Your wife is very sick. I'm sorry for everything that you've gone through. I cannot imagine a little other things. Like, either you guys have a great life and she's not looking at you at all, and I hope so, or you've had these little there probably have been moments where you have questioned yourself. Why am I feeling a certain way? When those questions come up, heed them. Our brains try to talk to us, and we will shut them down because it's not convenient. It's not convenient. We don't want to go there. This is an emergency. Sir, you are in trouble. You are drowning. Or actually, she is drowning. And if you go in to save her, she will take you down. Direct reference to one of the first things that they teach us is life-saving lifeguard school. You cannot help somebody who is thrashing around. They will take you down under because of their panic. They can't really control it. Sometimes you do have to turn away. It's hard. It will break your heart to do it in the moment. But for the preservation of your own life, your own sanity, your own safety, turn around and go.
All right, everybody, that is our first hour. Thank you, Anna. I truly appreciate it. Yeah, this has been an hour and 18 minutes to be exact. Yeah, we took it there. We're going to go ahead and go into the second hour. I'm making an executive decision that Mafia Video of the Week is going to be the first video because it's still dealing with mental health, but it's on an entirely different level than what we did. And then we're going to go ahead and get into the rest of which is a little more lighthearted compared to the other stuff that we've been listening to. So, but I do appreciate it. And Parker said, I wish OP could hear that advice. I do too. You know, it amazes you when you see strangers on the internet and you just feel for them and you just hope that it all works out. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the second hour, 3-minute break to reboot and refresh, and we'll see everybody on the other side. Stay tuned.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, I always say dreaming, never imagined I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground, I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally.
are back. Anna will be back. She had to reboot and get everything taken care of. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pay those bills. Please do not forget to go. Radical Truth to Power will be tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, in which we will just do the highlights of the Democratic National Convention. Please go to patreon.com/Tracy Media Fan. Help support Tracy at all of her endeavors. Please do not forget to go to Anna Hart's website, BorelliEtc.com. Learn something that you didn't think you need to know, but you should. Please do not forget to go to Theus's website, OurUnitedCore.com. Communities build movements. And if you need to reach me, you can do so at radtp@outlook.com. That's RADTP.com. I'm hoping that Anna will be able to listen to the story if she's not back yet, but I'll try to hold off as much as she can. The past story is really a footnote into the human mind in which you are literally able to convince yourself that what you hear and what you see and what you believe are absolute facts. And what makes it worse that even when facts are handed to you, like what you're thinking and what you're saying and what you're doing is wrong. Here are the facts. I'm handing the facts to you that what you're thinking, what you're feeling, well, not your feelings, because it's how you feel. But what you're thinking and what you're saying and what your actions are is absolutely true. It's absolutely false of everything that you believe in. But the human mind, when conditioned for a long period of time to believe the lies, to believe the deceit, to believe what you believe in for so long, over and over and over and over and over again, I would not say that you're incapable of change, but as time goes on, you're going to need help in that change. It's not something that you can do yourself. It's out of your control now. The OP's wife in this is in that area. She is going to need to want to change, which right now doesn't look like she does. She's going to have to be willing to change, which right now I don't believe that she does. She's going to feel that what she did was wrong, which we've already heard at the end of the last one. She doesn't believe that she did anything wrong. So you add all those factors in, it's a really long road for her to get better, but she's going to have to take that next step, and it doesn't feel like she wants to. But anyway, I talked long enough to get Anna back on, so let's go ahead and get into a Mafia video of the week. I wanted to go ahead and get this video out the way because we're still speaking about mental health awareness. This video has a small twist in it, but it also does have a trigger warning in it. It is the death of a child involved, but that's not the twist, but it is a part of it. It is 5 minutes. Go get your tea, go get your coffee, wherever you at. I don't know where you at when you still drinking coffee, but go get your tea, go get your little glass of wine, go get your beer. 5 minutes long, but I didn't want to cut it up because it flowed so very well. But let's just go ahead and get into it. Try kindness first.
Guys, this is not
okay. Also, one more warning: neurodivergent. See, because of the background, if you can handle it, fine. If not, just listen.
Guys, this is not your typical encounter. And boy oh boy does it come with a story. Okay, some obligatory context. I work school system as a counseling intern, and am basically in the stretch where I'm allowed to help with the kids unless I need to direct them to someone much more qualified. Basically, I interact with moody teenagers almost on a daily, but I have developed a method for helping them out when they throw fits. Usually, I simply ask if they are having a bad day. Some kids respond positively to this and admit, yeah, they're having a bad day, and I am in a position where I can let them rant and validate their frustrations. It has led to many a good interaction and continued behaviors from kids that I deal with. On this day after work, I headed to the Bullseye store, grabbing cereal, stuff for lunch next week, one-person meals, you know, the weekly essentials. I am still in my work clothes, black work pants, a red blouse, and black flats with my lanyard around my neck. I forget to take it off when I leave because I'm in a hurry just to flee the school before the students do. I have my headphones on and they are black and with a wire, so I get where the confusion came from with my getup. I totally do. The Bullseye store managers honestly dress very similarly, from what I remember. Back to the story. I am just humming along under my breath along to my music, trying to remember if I needed this brand of cereal bars or the store brand, when I feel it. The tap on the shoulder. I turn and I see a middle-aged man with bags under his eyes, but he looks cross, like he's about to attack me. I pull down my headphones and that's when he just snaps.
Finally! I've been trying to get your attention. Now can you help me find the organics? If you walk me to it, I won't tell your corporate offices about how lazily you're running the store. God, you're supposed to be helping customers.
I blink and then I say it. Mouth just went on autopilot. I blurt out, "I'm sorry, but I don't work here. Sir, are you having a bad day? You honestly look like you need a hug or a break of some kind." His eyes just go wide. And from my own readings on the subreddit, I think for just a moment that I screwed up. I think that he is going to explode. I see red and blue lights in my future, screaming and incoherent babbling and accusations. But no, this man suddenly gets tears in his eyes and he just wipes at them. Yes, it's been a rough couple of days. Huh? Go with it. I am so sorry to hear that. Is everything okay? No, honestly, I just lost my son and my baby. He suddenly melted down and just started bawling, and he clung to me out of nowhere. My mind is racing, trying to understand what is happening here. I awkwardly hug him back, comforting him. I am only 22, no kids of my own, but I cannot imagine what it must feel like for a father to bury his own child. After about 10 of the most awkward minutes of my life, he pulls back, wiping his eyes. He apologizes to me profusely, saying that he was still processing everything with his son, and I offer to buy him some hot chocolate from the coffee stand in the store. The man agrees, and we go up. I buy our drinks and sit him down, and he tells me the whole story. His son, barely 6 years old, had come down with leukemia. He had been diagnosed 7 months prior, and the doctors weren't sure if the treatment would work with him. He and his wife struggled because they also had a 2-year-old daughter to worry about and care for, along with their son's medical treatments, and their health insurance only covered so much. They buried him only 2 days prior to this, and he hadn't allowed himself to mourn whatsoever so that his wife could have him as a pillar of support if she needed him. He said, verbatim, "I want her to know I'm here for her because she needs that more than I do." I sympathized with him deeply, explaining that I had lost my grandfather the same way when I was young, and that the grief had been so sudden and so confusing, it had taken my brother into therapy at a young age. The man explained that his wife had made a list and haphazardly told him to go and get the food. He had never done that before. He usually watched the kids because he worked long hours while she went out and had some time for herself. Hence, he hadn't been to the store in a while and didn't know where anything was. After we talked some more, with me explaining that I didn't work there and him apologizing again, and he calmed down, I offered to take him around the store and show him where the items on his list were. By the time we left and he had calmed significantly, he thanked me once again and left. It was really heavy to take, but here is a small reminder that there is a tiny bit of hope when it comes to trying to appeal to the humanity in some of these people. Obviously, there will always be a Tyrannosaurus, but try kindness first.
Here is my take on the story. Grief is real. It is devastating. It hurts. You're going to feel all that anguish. You're going to be angry. You're going to be resentful. You're going to feel all that pain. But the next statement I'm going to say is easier said than done. But you have to go through it. Because holding grief in is doing nothing but destroying yourself. Let me repeat that. Holding in grief will destroy you. I understand what the guy is saying. I get what he's saying. He wants to be that pillar. He wants to be that strength for his wife. I see myself doing probably the exact same thing, honestly. But I'm coming in my man cave and I'm bawling. I'm letting it all out. Because I know I'm going to be a pillar to hold up the rest of the family. If we lost one of our children, just like next week, we're not going to be here because we got to take that mental health week to get our minds correct. I got to get my mind right. Sir, you went it the wrong way. You held it in. You took it out on somebody who had absolutely nothing to do with what's going on in your life. And luckily for you, you ran up on somebody who dealt with this and just asked, "Are you okay? Do you need any help? What's going on?" And I play the Karen stories on here a lot and things like that. And I know I do. I play a lot of those stories. For the most part, how those stories are set up is that you're just a narcissistic. Oh, it's the second hour. Cool. Narcissistic asshole. But I really honestly believe in my heart of hearts that a lot of these people are just hurting. It's just it's pain. And even when we sit there and joke during the pandemic that a lot of mental health came out during the pandemic because these people had to be left alone in their home and they're just cooped up and everything else. Well, let me tell you this. That's a mental illness. Because that means going to work and going out socializing and all that other stuff means they're not capable of just being alone with themselves. They need distractions. That's not a good thing. Tell you now, that's not a good thing. If you're not able to enjoy yourself, there's something wrong. When you're not able to handle being alone, there's something wrong. And this is something that you're going to have to push through it, which I highly suggest that you don't push through it. But my second thing is, then you need to go get help. If you always need somebody in your face, yeah, that's not normal. I enjoy the company of my wife, really, truly do. But my wife can go on a vacation for one day and not come home and hauled up on the floor, curled up, with tears rolling down my face because she ain't here. And I hope vice versa. It is vice versa. Ain't it? Not paying attention. But
But what?
yeah.
She
Huh?
fine. She fine.
You talking about me? But you need to go through that grievance period. You need, hear me, you need, not want to, you need to go through the grievance period. Because what my fear is on this is you don't want it coming out at the wrong time. You don't want to, we live in America, so hear me when I say this. You don't want to roll up on the wrong person with that same thing that you just said. And it really goes sideways. So just
Okay.
you have to deal with it. You have to deal with it. Do what you got to do. Cry, punch the wall, whatever. Just know when you punch that wall, you're gonna have to fix it eventually. So they want to find a different way, pillar or something. But yeah, what you got, Anna?
Grief hits so many different people in different ways. Um, Overall, pardon me, most of us will go through something that looks like a bastardized version of the stages of grief. Eventually, we will get through all the anger, bargaining, denial in our own order, but also in our own time. I have heard many stories where when a parents have lost their baby, one falls apart, the other rushes and helps them pick it all back up and put them back together just in time for that one to fall apart. So now the one who was just put back together can be the pillar. Yet we are trying to normalize mental health and say that it's okay. Your feelings, they're always valid, and you should have a time and a place where you get to be the center of attention and you get all of your feelings out. But sometimes you're not going to want to feel like talking. When death hits, one of those stages is bargaining. And it can look like so many different things. You're either pleading with God, like, I will give you whatever you want just to give me my person back. But bargaining can also be with yourself and trying to either give yourself the time and the space to heal. Some people can't be pushed into talking about it right away. Some need to talk about it right away. There is no right answer, and we all have to figure out what it is that we need inside. Nobody's going to know that magic panacea, and it may be a sloppy road until you figure it out. There is no way to go through this but to go through it. There is nothing that will prepare you for it. Except having people around you that you know you can rely on, that you can fall down, and they've got your back. They won't they won't let you hit the ground. My heart goes out to that man. And it's like we have said so many times now, if we could all take a moment to slow down and see other people as people with a whole complex gamut of feelings and experiences that they have been through. They may be having just as shitty a day as you. They could be having a brilliant day. But you won't know unless you let them in. We are, and speaking as an American, we are in a place right now where we are not sure if we want to break down in public. We're not sure who we will get. Please make sure that you have those people that you can call in those times of need and just say, I need to talk. Sometimes a friend will just need you to be with them. They won't need to talk. They won't need you to talk. But the comfort of you being there with them, beside them, or on a video call, you never know. That little bit of kindness, that little bit of patience, it can mean the world to somebody. You could change their entire outlook by giving someone a little bit of respect. It doesn't take much. A little bit of kindness. It's like you said in the very beginning. I would like to believe that it wouldn't matter who came up to me in a store if they needed help. I'd like to think I would be there. Because I am surrounded by Republicans in my town. So we're not always going to have the right to an easy conversation. But sometimes you just never know, and that person that you absolutely need could be that stranger across the store. That was a lovely story. I mean, it was a heartbreaking story, but the core message was lovely. Slow down and just take in your fellow human being's story for a moment. You might save their life. It it really is that black and white. You might save their life. Kindness. It doesn't take much.
That is all the heavy stuff. We got all the heavy stuff out the way. All the heavy things are out the way. Let's go ahead and get into the silliness and BSery and everything else with our very first Am I the A-hole? This is a three-parter. Am I the A-hole? 3 videos. You know, this is the silliness. This is the silliness of me. Because I do it to Foxy, I do it to AITAH. I don't do it to Thea's because Thea's has this same way of doing everything. I always love seeing the facial expression or people as they're listening to the story because it's a miniature entertainment for me. It just kind of just really funny and laughing. I gotta make sure. Are you paying attention?
Yeah.
Yep, sure am. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hi,
Heard the whole.
Foxy.
Hi.
It's sad. She's cooking a lot, and we've been on our feet like literally all day. She's been on her feet longer than I have, but
Looking at this burger chicken recipe, I'm gonna try some more.
uh-oh. Okay.
I haven't slept since yesterday, so let's go.
What?
Ooh, Lordy.
Yeah, some red.
Also, I forgot to say this. Damn, you slacking as executive producer. You forgot to tell me about the Mama Heart Hour. That you forgot to
I looked
remind
and you had it going because I had to go. I had to restart, and by the time I came back, you had the banner going. So I thought it was all good.
Yeah, I'm a narcissist. I have to blame others for my shortcomings. I'm not. I'm just really not. I don't.
No, not.
Really. I'm really not. But I forgot to tell you what the plan was for Friday Night Guys with Anna.
Okay.
That's the title. I got to change that. Friday Night Guys with Anna. We are bringing back the story, our favorite story about sexy potatoes. And the reason that I'm bringing it back, is because I did not know. I was listening to the story because I was like, oh my God, this is one of my favorite stories, the sexy potato story. I did not know as the story was going along, they had an update to the sexy potato story. So there's more. I did not know that. So I was like, are you kidding me? There's more to this story? And yes, it is. So next Friday, On Friday Night Guys with Hannah, we are going to revisit Pepsi Potatoes with an update on what's going on. So, yeah, I'm going to enjoy I don't even care if anybody's not watching the show. This is going to be great for me. I loved that story. It was just, it was a roller coaster story, but we have updates to that story. I honestly think I don't know what I'm going to do with the show. We'll see what we do. It may be the only story of the show. I may not have a second hour to it. I may just play that story and good night. I don't know yet, but we will see. But I can't wait for next Friday. I'm going to be pumped. It's going to be great. But okay, with that out of the way. I love that. That was one of my favorite stories. That was always one of my favorite stories. Also, because I know now, I'm talking now because I know of one person who does this. But Anna, I know Susan watches our shows either live or afterward.
Right.
Last week, she said something to the effect of, I had to stop commenting on a show to come watch this show. And we was all confused at what she was saying. Like, wait a minute, you stopped commenting on the show to watch the show, and we was all confused about it. We was like, Susan, what are you saying?
I'm so confused.
I found out exactly what she was saying. She literally was commenting on the week before show. She was in the middle of commenting on that, and she stopped commenting on that show to start watching us live on this show.
Because you're live.
She had 25 comments on our last show before then. So Susan does watch the show afterwards, which is why I'm saying we have to keep the show going, because Susan does watch the show. A lot of people we don't really have a lot of people who watch it live, but we have an abundance amount of people who watch it after the show goes off the air, so which is fine. And I'm thinking about I have to work at this. But in the near future, and it may start after our break, to make it easier on everybody else, I may start breaking down the show, not as separate shows, so to speak, but actually have a playlist in which you can watch the show and you can click on the show down at the bottom. You can click on the title and it'll break
timestamp.
Yeah, timestamp the show so you can just keep going. You know, cool. I have people emails of people who I don't want to hear the story. I just want to hear what y'all think about it. And then vice versa. I don't want to hear what y'all talking about. I just want to hear the story. So I may break it down. But I did feel good about that. I don't care about the story. I can hear a little. Somebody literally emailed me and said something to the effect of, I just need a little bit of the story. I just want to hear what y'all think. And I don't want to go through the 3-hour show listening to it. I just want to hear what y'all think about the story. And
I understand that.
Radical Truth to Power really strong on that, because like I know what the topic is that y'all talking about. I just want to hear what y'all think.
Right.
So I get it. I just gotta stop being lazy about it. Like Foxy always like to say, cut the bullshit. So, but all that out the way, let's go ahead and get into the first of a 3-parter. Girlfriend hurt herself.
Originally posted July 10th, 2024. While I, 30 male, was away on business, my fiance, 32 female, decided to go out without telling me. We spoke in the afternoon. I was on my way to the airport ahead of an 8-hour flight, which was arriving at 5 a.m. Her friend had just come back from out of state, and she was planning on taking her out to dinner. Once I landed, I didn't want to wake her, as she normally gets up around 7. I got home, and she wasn't there. Her car was parked outside, but she wasn't in bed. For a moment, I panicked and thought she had gone to surprise me at the airport, but somehow I missed her. But her car was outside. I call her and her phone rang to voicemail. I called 10 more times while I shower and change. At first, I wasn't too worried, thinking maybe she went for a run, but the scenarios running through my head were getting darker. We have our phones on our iCloud account in case we lose them, so I bring it up to find her location. Her iPhone was at a hospital. My heart sank. I start heading to the hospital. All her family live out of state, so there's no one to call. The hospital is 10 minutes away. I speed, run red lights, park right in front of the emergency department door, and go in like a maniac, demanding the triage staff to tell me where she is. They take me to her room. She's asleep in bed, but I can immediately see she's hurt. Her lip is swollen, and she looks like she's been beaten up. Bruises on her face, splint thing on her nose. My panic and worry morph into rage, and I demand to know what has happened and who did this to her. I was informed that she arrived in an ambulance at 2 a.m., having drunkenly stumbled and face-planted onto the curb while leaving a bar. She had a broken nose, chipped tooth, and other minor abrasions and scratches, but she was going to be fine. This made absolutely no sense. I seriously feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I don't drink, never have, and she hasn't touched alcohol since college, basically. I don't know what's happening at this point. She's tried to offer up some kind of explanation about her friend pressured her to have wine while they were at dinner, and then somehow they ended up in a bar. She apparently has no recollection and teleported there. I've been giving her the silent treatment, and it's 8 p.m. She has been crying and wanting some sort of consolement or reassurance, but I genuinely think I'm done. This whole thing just came out of left field, and I'm not handling it well at all. We've been living together since we got engaged, and it would be a pretty clean split. Her parents own the house, so I can basically just take my stuff and go, I guess. I really don't know what to do. We've been together a year and a half, and I feel like we could get past this, but it's like the whole ordeal and the emotional roller coaster have sapped away the love I felt for her. Anyway, sorry for the novel, but will I be the astronaut if I dump her?
That was pretty much the look on Anna's face during the last part of the video. Foxy only said, "Damn, she was fucked up," and she was.
So she was in a bar,
Mm-hmm.
drank for whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
and trips. No,
Yep.
nobody has done this to her.
No.
Okay. Okay, dude. All of your worry and everything gets to come out as, all right, she was not kidnapped. She was not unalived. She hurt herself. She didn't make the best of decisions. You're going to have to give her some time. But you really want to leave her? Because she drank? Like,
Remember, it's a 3-parter, so yeah.
okay. So something's going on that I don't know about yet.
No, I'll give you that. It's exactly correct. It's exactly
That's
correct.
okay. I mean,
He wants to leave her because this to him is not the norm.
okay. I mean, obviously you don't care about her very much. So maybe this isn't the place for you. Most people, when they find out that their partner has hurt themselves, even if it is a mistake, a drunken accident, they can come up with a little bit of sympathy. You might be laughing at it later. Who knows? But dude, you can't have a whole lot of feelings for her if you're already like, huh, this is weird. I think I should leave her. I just, it doesn't compute to me.
All right, let's go get ahead and get into the second story, which is sort of like the first story, the main story of the show, which OP is just actually, Foxy done gave me an issue. She said that I say words very wrong on the show. So now I'm subconsciously making sure that I say every word properly. So actually, he's just answering questions from some comments that he is getting. Did everybody understand what I said? Because apparently it's an issue with Foxy. He has an issue
Okay.
with how I talk.
I can. I really want to say something here. I have never, ever had a problem understanding what it is you are getting across. So, to me, it hasn't mattered that you switch around some letters, or if you do a dyslexic thing. I do that all the time. As long as the point got across, I don't see the need to correct. Some people do have a thing about proper English. English changes so much, and there are things like, you say axe all the time. That's an actual word. It's not a mistake, so there may be a history of why you're doing it. It may be that it just feels more comfortable to your mouth. As long as you're understood, and if I don't understand you, I promise I'm going to ask.
Yep.
But I don't know. I've heard a few conversations about kind of policing speech, and I don't mean that Foxy's policing anything here, but like there have been a lot of people who like do videos and they're like, it's ask, not X. And then people who teach like at Harvard or Yale, they will come on and be like, no, actually, the word X is a real word, comes from the, so sometimes we don't know the whole story. Once again, you're commuting, you're creating yourself just fine.
Number one, Foxy has me at a higher standard.
Mm-hmm.
However, number two, I'm 52 years old. I ain't changing shit about how I talk. Forget it. It's over with, folks. It's a done deal. I'm not changing.
You're fine.
And I am fine.
Constructive criticism.
I'm fine as hell. No, I'm just kidding. I'm fine.
Oh.
But let's go ahead and get into the second story, in which he's just answering some questions. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Added comments. Commenter here, you're the asshole. This is kind of a big overreaction to someone going out to drink and getting hurt. Seems like you're just looking for an out to the relationship, and this is the most convenient way. OP, she's definitely not cheating or sneaking around like some people seem to think. We also have great insurance, so the medical bills are no issue. It's definitely the first time anything like this has happened. She is super reasonable and mature, which is one of the things that has made us so compatible. She's always so dignified and composed, which is one of the things I love most about her. Seeing her like this and learning about how it happened has just kind of shattered the image that I had of her in my mind. She is super embarrassed about it, which doesn't really help. No, you are not helping. OP replied to this comment to another Redditor. OP, I get it. I'm the asshole. Enough people mentioned that she was roofied, so we went and got a drug panel done, and it came back clean. She just had too much to drink. Just to clarify, since a lot of you said I'm controlling or whatever, I'm really not. She's free to go out with or without telling me. It's just she normally always tells me her plans exactly, which is why this one was so abnormal. Also, I never said I had a problem with her drinking. She's a grown woman and she can do whatever she wants. It's just that she never drinks, which is why this was so shocking. She has a concussion, which we're blaming for the trouble remembering. I don't think she was blackout drunk, and neither does she. I'm not trying to defend my initial reaction, but I have a very stressful job, which has taken its toll on my mental health for sure, and I make an effort to eliminate any sort of non-work related stress as a matter of necessity. Coming back to my wife in the hospital seriously injured was absolutely devastating, and I didn't react well. My first thoughts were that she was attacked by someone, which infuriated me and made me want to go find whoever it was. Once I realized there was nobody to blame for this except her, some of those negative emotions were directed towards her. I'm not saying it's right, but I can't control how I feel. Let me also be clear about one thing. I was not ignoring her. I just really didn't know what to say and wanted to let her rest. I was processing the situation, and I knew if I didn't control what I had to say, I might say something that blamed her or was hurtful or something along those lines, which is why I decided to hold my tongue until I sorted my feelings. Yes, I know I'm the asshole.
Okay, before we get into the third story, because that's when the twist come in. Third story has a twist. My guy, there's a two-parter to what your issue is. One, you're used to formalities. You're used to a uniformed way of life. If it's always been this way, you want to continue to be this. You want to continue to be this way. So any deviant of your routine, and I hate this word because it's being used too much too. Trust me, I've heard a whole bunch of Reddit stories. To you, it's a red flag. Like, this is a red flag. You did something that's not the norm. You didn't call me when you went out. That's not normal. You don't drink. That's not normal. You did not hurt yourself. That's not normal. You hurt yourself. That's not normal. I'm speaking to you because on my end, and I always like to put myself in the feet of the Redditor or of the event. Literally, the only thing that I would say to Foxy if this happened to her is, I bet your ass won't drink that damn much anymore, will you? That's it. My bigger concern was, you need to get better. I'm going to support you, but I am going to say, I bet your ass won't drink like that no more, will you? You know, in a funny ha-ha way, because you're the one that's going through the pain, not me. And vice versa. Like, I'm pretty sure she'll look at me like, what the hell was you drinking? Was the pain worth it? And another thing that I had to say to this is, you literally do not know why she failed. You are under the assumption that she failed because she was drunk. She may have been. Keep in mind, you're not even doing logic because you're thinking, she got so wasted that she failed. Bruh, you also said she doesn't drink. All of a sudden, she went to a bar and she drank. Your tolerance to alcohol is really, really low if you have gone years without drinking. Like, it's really low. But that's if you're thinking she's so drunk. It could be as simple as, we just came back from Washington. Washington, D.C. They have the worst pavement I have ever walked on in my life. It was god awful. I busted my ass almost 2-3 damn times, and this was on a sidewalk, and I'm sober.
Sober.
I am sober, and it was just like, what the hell? Like, in any normal circumstance, you walk and there's a pavement done, and they have pavement in Anna. If you don't know, most of Washington, they're not really a normal sidewalk. They're paver blocks. That's how they build the sidewalk and the walkways. Yeah, it's great paver blocks. It's very beautiful. Too bad y'all ass don't keep up with it, because I'm sticking on uneven pavement to uneven pavement. I say all that to say this: you don't know if your fiance just skipped over an uneven sidewalk. You don't know if somebody tripped her. You have no idea. And it really doesn't matter. She is hurt. You're the fiance. You are there to support her. And if you come to the point where you can't talk to her because you don't know what's coming out of your mouth, bruh, you don't need to get married. You just don't. This is not for you. Because when you get to the part of the for better or for worse during the marriage, you're lying if you say I do to the worst part, because you're not ready for the worst part. You don't want the worst part to happen. That's not your thing. You want for better. I'm pretty sure the pastor needs to go, I need you to change that part from better or the worst to for better or the best. Because I don't want nothing bad to happen. I don't think I could do that's not my thing. I can't do that. I don't need anything worse. I don't need anything worse than she left her socks under the bed. That's about as worse as I can take this relationship. That's not my thing. So you're not ready. You're not ready for marriage. You're not ready to be married to her. You're not there. As a matter of fact, I go a one step further. You're not ready for marriage because you only want the best of the best when it comes to marriage. And I'm going to tell you right now, that is the most unrealistic bullshit I've ever heard somebody. It's not realistic. Marriage is hard work every day. It's exactly what it is. You put in the work to sustain a marriage. And me and Foxy been married for 20 years. Do you think we had a rosy marriage for 20 years? Hell no. Hell no. Bro, you ain't ready. You not ready. You're not ready for this. But like I said, we have a third video. And I'll get Anna's side on this, because we're going to get into the third video because it has a not one, but two twists.
I don't think you're going to get the chance to call this thing off, man. I think she's going to beat you to it here, man. I don't think you're ready for a relationship. That's the bottom line. You're not. You're not ready. You're not ready. Here's the update by OP in the comments. She broke off the engagement. She broke off the engagement. We had a long talk, and apparently I've been cold and unsupportive. Apparently. I disagree, but whatever. And she feels betrayed by my attitude? ? She thinks my expectations are unrealistic and that she's a human, not a robot. She said she needs someone who can let her fail, and I am not that person. No more words are needed. Riddle me this. How did she say in like 10 words what took me like 5 minutes to communicate? Apparently I'm unsupportive. I disagree, but whatever. She feels betrayed by my attitude? ? Dude. All right. This next one is, oh, wait. Candy Thunder, this next headline that you got here, is this the her side? Oh, wait. This is him too? Okay, so that was a mini update to the last story. We have another update to this that is related. Candy Thunder said, just read it and it will make sense. Okay, or just read it and it will make sense. Got it. Okay, we have another update for this one. The title of this update is, will I be the astronaut if I don't return the expensive watch my ex-fiance's father gave me? July 13th, 2024. We broke up after being engaged for 6 months. One night when we were at her parents' place, her father gave it to me as a gift. It was shortly after we got engaged, and it wasn't my birthday or anything like that. There was no occasion. He just gave it to me and said, I want you to have this. He took it off his wrist. I'm unlikely to ever see him again as he lives in California and I live in New York. He hasn't asked for it back, nor has my ex. I doubt she has any clue what it's worth, but I've had it appraised and it's worth over $70,000. Will I be the astronaut if I keep the watch and don't say anything? You had it appraised? Isn't an appraisal normally an indication of an intent to sell? He is the kind of guy who would be like, I just want to know how much I'm wearing, you know? I just want to know what it's worth. On your wrist. Okay, there's added comments to this. I thought it went on quite a bit longer. Here's the added comments onto this. Commenter says, yes, you would be the asshole if you keep the watch without discussing it with your ex-fiance or her father. While the watch was given to you as a gift, its significant value in the circumstances of your breakup suggests that there might be emotional and familial attachments involved. Keeping such a valuable item without at least offering to return it could be seen as disrespectful or opportunistic, especially considering the relationship dynamics and the fact that it was a gift from her father. It's best to communicate openly and transparently about it to avoid any misunderstandings or hurt feelings. Commenter, given the reason that you are now single, I don't know how you would be able to keep it without feeling like a total douchebag. Commenter, just read your previous post, so yeah, you will be the asshole if you keep it. Give it back to them.
Wow.
That's why I cut short my last statement. I cut it short on purpose. You don't think she knows that when things are down, you go into a little cocoon and just separate yourself? And let me add to what I'm saying. This is what she sees. When things are bad, you separate yourself from the badness until it gets better. That is not support. Things are not always going to be good. It's just not. It's virtually impossible to say you're going to go through all of your marriage on good terms. You did not want to say anything because you did not want to say anything bad. My question to you is, why would you think you can't say anything good and supportive? That's a you thing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, for real. That's a you thing. And just to add again, me and Foxy, we will be clowning each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we will support each other, but we will be clowning each other to keep our spirits up. Bet your ass won't drink like that no more. Bet your ass will look down at the damn street before you walk again, won't you? Keep our spirits up.
Mm-hmm.
But not one time where I think, hey, you got so drunk that you fucked up your face like that. I'm out. Peace. Wait, what? Why would you do that? It is more fun. Look, I guarantee you, if something like that with Foxy would have happened or me happened, I would be clowning, because it's real easy to clown somebody when something like that happened, because I guarantee you they probably would never do that again. You went to a bar, you got drunk, and you failed, and you're now in the hospital. 100% you ain't gonna do this crap again. Promise you, it's not gonna happen again. So, yeah, she's done with you. Now let's get back to the watch. You are only going to listen to the one 2 or 3 Reddit people who said, yeah, I would keep the watch. You know that. I know that. There could be 500 people that say, yes, you will be the asshole if you keep the watch. You're going to listen to the 2 or 3 people that said, no, I'll keep the watch. Number 2,
He gave it as a gift.
I have never, in 52 years of my life, I have never been given a gift by anybody and went and got it appraised. I don't, that's, wow. Wow. I'm going to stop here by simply saying, you the asshole. You're not ready for marriage. You may be fine in a relationship. You're not fine in a relationship, but you're more comfortable. Let's say that you're more comfortable in a relationship because you could easily break something off. Now, this is the only time I would say I'm glad Theus is not on this show, because I do not want to go through the whole process. You can break up for any reason at any time. You ain't got to give no reason for breaking.
No, in this case, you were not ready to say I do in the slightest. And yet after 6 months, like, you were ready to jump into a marriage. Bro, this is saying a lot about you. And, okay. Yes, you absolutely would be the asshole here if you kept that watch. It was given to you thinking, you are joining the family. And they might be, nah, I gave it as a gift, go ahead, do whatever. That's his right to say. You have no right to assume it. It's your assumptions here that you always have to, life has to be easy. Life can't be, what's the word?
The simplest word is problems.
It can't be messy. Sorry?
Oh, I
The
was agreeing
simplest?
with you. I also say the simplest word is there cannot be any problems.
Right. Because you can't deal. And young man, you're not ready for a full-on relationship yet. Eventually, you're going to find somebody that you will want to feel that you will move heaven and earth for. But quite possible that that person won't feel the same way about you. This is the real work of dating. Can you actually make it in a life together? This was such a small thing. And you failed. You failed that life experience so badly. You do not pass go, do not collect $200, do not get married. And way to go to this woman for like, no, I can't trust you. It always comes back to trust. But wow, no, you're looking at a 3D puzzle. Like, in a two-dimensional world of your own. There's parts of this puzzle that you're completely missing. But it's your fault. You're refusing to see. So, good luck to that woman. I hope you find somebody who cherishes you, and when they find you in a hospital, won't pull away. Because, yeah, that's a time when you need somebody to come in. And even if you're going to laugh at this a little later on, you still need somebody to come in and say, honey, it's okay. We all have accidents. Like Marlon said, it doesn't have to be that she was drinking. She could have just not lifted a foot. This is so ridiculous, though. No. Do not keep that watch. I'm glad he had the sense to ask, though. Instead of just convincing himself he had every right to keep the watch and moving on. It's better than nothing. Anyway, that's really all.
And OP's ex-fiance, let me just say that. Let me say this. Just to highlight my thoughts for you. You fucked yourself up. Like, what the hell? You got a split across your nose. You got a black eye. What the hell did you fuck? Did it fall on the curb? Did you fall and somebody gave you an uppercut on the way down? What the hell is happening? What is going on with you? See, that's my humor. See, that's, but I hope you do get better. And apparently you are getting better because you dropped this dude and just said, nah, it ain't even worth it. It ain't even worth it. Real or nah? Let's just go ahead and get into it real quick. Labor and meeting.
I'm a 28-year-old woman, and I've been working at my company for 5 years. And until recently, I loved my job. I was 8 months pregnant when this happened about a month ago. Anyways, I started having contractions while I was at work. Since I wasn't due yet, I thought that it was just Braxton Hicks because they weren't that intense. Just a week before that, I had experienced Braxton Hicks and went to the hospital, but it was a false alarm. This time, I was still working when the contractions started in the morning, and I again thought that it was Braxton Hicks. I didn't want to cause a scene, so I tried to keep working. Last time I went to the hospital, my boss, John, who's 45, made sarcastic comments about me being overly dramatic, and joked about how I should schedule my labor around important meetings. I have social anxiety and tend to take people's comments without pushing back, so I just took it. By noon, the contractions were getting stronger and closer together, and I knew that it was real labor. I needed to go to the hospital, so I informed John that I was in labor and needed to leave. He rolled his eyes and said, "Just stay for the meeting at 1 p.m. It's crucial and we need you there." I was stunned. I reiterated that I was in active labor and needed to go to the hospital immediately. John snapped back, "It's just a meeting. Sit through it and then you can go. It's not like the baby is gonna pop out right now." Feeling pressured and scared for my job, I reluctantly stayed. The meeting lasted an excruciating 2 hours. By the end of it, I was in so much pain that I could barely walk. I finally left and drove myself to the hospital, where I was admitted immediately. My husband arrived 30 minutes later because he was on the other side of the town for a meeting. My daughter was born later that evening, thankfully healthy despite the delay. When I told my husband what had happened, he was furious and insisted we report John to HR. I was hesitant because I didn't want to jeopardize my job, but I agreed that it was the right thing to do. HR was appalled and assured me that they would handle the situation. John has since been suspended pending an investigation. The real kicker, during the investigation, it came out that John had emailed the entire office while I was in labor, complaining about my lack of commitment and making fun of me for overreacting. He even implied that I was using my pregnancy as an excuse to get out of work. Now my coworkers are pissed at me, saying I overreacted and that I should have just sucked it up for the sake of the company. I've even received messages and emails from a few colleagues saying that I've ruined John's career and that he was just doing his job under pressure. Yo, what? One even said that I should have toughed it out like their wife did during her pregnancy. The stress from this whole ordeal has made it difficult to enjoy my first few days with my newborn. I'm constantly second-guessing myself and feeling guilty, despite knowing I did what was best for my baby and me. To make matters worse, the interim manager who took over from John is even worse. He's made it clear to everyone that he resents my actions and has made my return to work unbearable. Now that my maternity leave is over, I find myself isolated at work. People give me side eyes and whisper about me. During lunch, I'm alone because no one wants to sit with the troublemaker. It feels like high school all over again. I dread going into work each day and facing the hostility and judgment. I never imagined that doing what was right for my health and my baby's well-being would turn my colleagues against me like this. It's gut-wrenching to feel so isolated and vilified for simply standing up for myself and my rights. Am I the butthole for reporting my boss after he forced me to attend a meeting despite knowing I was in labor?
And I'll let you go first. 'Cause I got a rant.
You did absolutely everything right. Oh boy. Okay. Your manager here is an asshole. And I think if I was hearing it correctly, everybody who gave an opinion on this was a man, not somebody who has felt labor, tough through it like my wife did. Oh, dude, I feel so sorry for your wife. She should not have to deal with any of that. When HR makes their judgment, that is not time for everybody else in the office to go, oh yeah, you were a jerk. She was in labor. This is where I can't believe people.
So you're saying this is real?
Oh, fuck. I forgot this was real or not. Okay. Yeah, I am saying it's real. Because unfortunately, it's not an attitude I've not heard of before.
All right. So here we go. This is the most bullshittest damn story I've ever heard in a really long time. This was a god-awful written story. And let me just go through the menu of the bullshittery of this story. Number one, this is a reputable company where you had somebody in labor. Ain't nobody on the face of the planet is going to sit there. Okay, let me just go back a little bit. Do y'all see what a woman looks like when she's going into labor? I have. I've seen what a woman looks like going through labor. You're going to sit beside somebody that's going through labor. Really? Number two, it was a 2-hour meeting. Fuck you. Even I'm a man. I'm never going to give labor, and I'm not sitting through a damn 2-hour meeting. Number three, dude, you was absolutely correct. It's only a meeting. You can sit through it. You're fucking right. It's only a meeting. That's why I'm not coming. Going into labor. Out. Where am I at? Number four now? Number four. HR said that the manager is full of shit. So, yeah, we're done with it. Also, number five. Show me your ass so I can go back to HR and now tell them that I'm working in a hostile work environment. Number six, no manager who's actually a real manager, and I'm out of chronological order. Number six, there is no manager who's smart enough to sit there and email the whole company saying she's in labor, she don't want to work. She went, ain't nobody gonna put that shit in writing. If you do put that in writing, you have no business whatsoever being in management. Number seven, and most importantly, if I was to believe that this bullshit story is real, I will sue the living fuck out of this company. You damn near almost at bankruptcy. I hope every last one of you, if it happens, gets fucking fired. And I don't give a damn. I'm not even in the same stage as y'all no more because I have enough money to move wherever the fuck I want to go. So I honestly don't even care. But there is absolutely no way, if I have a cramp in my leg, I'm not sitting through a 2-hour meeting. You're in fucking labor. You can't tell me that the baby's gonna pop out there to be fucking. Are you a doctor? You ain't. And here's the funny thing about it, and I'm going with Anna. It may have literally been all the men who said that there was something wrong with it. Please, from the bottom of my heart, shut the fuck up, because this is something that you ain't never have to deal with and ever for the rest of your life. You came out of somebody. Nothing came out of you. But the bullshit of this story, which again, I'm saying is bullshit. I don't believe this story at all. I've seen, I've heard, and I've read toxic work environments. Those I get. Those I understand. I have never seen something this damn toxic. Ever. Especially whatever the guy said, you should do like my wife and toughen it out. I don't know your fucking wife, dude. Your wife could have went into labor and rested at home. How the hell do I know what she toughed out of? And even if I don't know. I absolutely don't know what you're talking about. Like I said, I do not believe this story. I do not believe that any company on the face of the planet would have this much toxic things going on. I have been in my job. Oh crap! Come no October, 20 years. Ooh, woo!
Wow.
The creme de la creme of corporate work. Been at the creme de la creme of. I've told you before. I'm telling you again. Companies 100% is not going to fuck up their money. They're not going to do it. They're just not going to do it. So yeah, if it's fake, which I think it is, you just try to, what's the word? It's not anger bait, rage bait. You just throwing something out there to rage and get everybody upset and mad at corporations and everything else. If this is real, I promise you, go straight back to HR. It has now become a hostile work environment, along with the emails and showing everybody the emails. And I
Yeah.
tell you to say this afterwards or even during the conversation. HR, it has now become a hostile work environment. I think I need to get an attorney involved.
Yep.
Ooh, you gonna get paid. You about to get paid. You about to get paid a lot. And not only you about to get paid, there are going to be firings. Like, seriously. It's going to be a lot of people out of work. And will I feel sorry for you? Fuck you. So that answers that question.
The only thing that I can agree it goes far on was that email rather, to everybody. I have heard stories like this before. I don't know. Some people think labor should be easy.
What I told Foxy is, and why I said this wasn't real. The worst case scenario that I heard was, I don't think they would go this far with somebody that's in labor getting pregnant, but the most toxic thing that I heard is it will be done during the interview of asking, are you married? And that question would be, if you say yes, they do not want to deal with you because they on the idea that you are going to eventually want to start a family. And if you start a family, you're going to get pregnant, and they don't want to deal with you on that level.
Right.
That you're going to miss time out of work and so on and so forth, so you don't get hired. That's about as far as I can see the toxic work environment going. Now, that I have heard about before. You know,
Yeah.
are you married? And oh God, bless your heart if you're like in your 20s, 25, 26, whatever, and you newly minted married. Yeah, I can see that happening. But no.
Yeah.
And also, and this is just my experience, I have yet to see anybody who's in labor and sit anywhere for 2 hours. You get laid for 2 hours and you're in labor. I knew. I literally can see anybody on the face of the planet literally just going, you want me to sit through it? First of all, like I said, a 2-hour meeting. The fuck do you have to tell me for 2 hours? Like, for real, for real. Like, let's take the jokes out of it. What is it? You need to tell me that it's a 2-hour meeting. I don't care about this job as much as you think you think I do. I don't care. I'm not sitting through a 2-hour meeting. I've never been to a 2-hour meeting before in my life. You got a good 30 minutes, bruh. Get your point across. Let's go. What's the issue? What's the solution? We out. If you started any sentence in a 2-hour meeting with, and here is our projected quarterly earnings, I'm out. I don't give a fuck. I'm not getting none of that money. I'm not getting none of it. What the hell? You could put that in the email. If I'm pregnant and I'm having labor, don't even send me the email. Don't care. No, this ain't real. Sorry. Can't do it.
I want it
Anywho,
to not be real. Mm. I can see where like the guy is along the lines of like you're bullshitting us. You know, you thought you were in labor before, you actually weren't, so you're just complaining. Unfortunately, women have been told we are just complaining for many things. So I don't know, I can see that little scenario happening. But I don't want to believe it's true. Hell no.
Foxy's videos of the week. Our first video to end the show off is this is how you work it out with your children when you have a difference of opinion. This is how you work it out with the kid.
Make a scene, make a scene. I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me. Yes, I do the cooking, yes, I do the cleaning.
You don't want nothing? You don't do nothing? You don't want nothing. Real simple. Real simple.
Threaten the tablet time, yeah. This is why it's really important to limit screen times when kids are young.
Yep. Second video. When you forgot that one auto pay bill that went through, and all you get is that email that says, "Thank you for your payment."
Okay.
You ain't got but so much money. But so much money. You was hoping that money will crash into your next bill, and damn it, you forgot. Next video. Ladies, y'all wearing too much makeup.
Ciao.
Y'all got too much foundation on your faces, man. Y'all wow.
What? I don't want to know what powder he put in his mouth to do that. Ugh.
Next video, everybody would understand exactly where I'm coming from. When you get that email from your job, but you on vacation.
That ain't got shit to do with me. Hey, that ain't got shit to do with me. That ain't got shit to do with me. Hey, that ain't got shit to do with me.
this next video and the last video of the show tonight, I put it on because I'm amazed at this, and then I have a deeper philosophical statement to make. It's scary music, so if you're scared easily, whatever, then sorry, but not sorry. The crap is fake. But remember, I always like to put things on that's very, oh Lord. Foxy got up and can barely walk. What is going on with you? Your feet hurt. Oh,
She's drinking. She gonna fall on her face. Mom, go catch her. She just sits there shaking her head. No.
nope. I'll meet you at the hospital.
Poor
Anyway,
Foxy.
scary music.
Mm. Wow, it's talent.
I'm going to play it one more time, and then this is where I'm going to do the philosophical thing. I'm going to do it one more time.
Okay.
I put that on for this purpose, and I'm going to leave those last two for this for tomorrow. One, I want him to see the two videos, and two, because I'm lazy, and I know I'm lazy, and it's all that short of up. If you think about it, really think about it, basically they're just notes. There's not a note on a piano that you can't hit. And if you get the right person who knows how to hit it, there is not as hit it. Honestly, don't mess me up. I can't even make a mistake. If you hit it, you can make any theme song of any song that you ever heard, any music of any movie, TV show, whatever. You have the ability to duplicate it. Now, you as an individual, can you do something like that? Very few people. Minnie Riperton, Mariah Carey, people of that genre who has and I'm gonna go with Anna, is it 7-octave range? Or is it 9-octave?
I have to look it up.
But
I think it was
and
7. Because
I think
6
it's
is
7.
impressive.
6 or 7 range octave. If you could hit that note, you can duplicate any theme music. So yeah. And when you have a group of people who, okay, I can't get that note. Can you get it? Sure can. And you put that group together, you come up with whatever theme song, whatever music whatever instrumental that you have heard in your life. It's a talent. I'm not getting away with that. I'm not saying that. But an
Oh
individual
no,
talent,
no.
but a group, yes. The sky is the limit. The sky is definitely the limit on this. But like I said, I'll play it tomorrow because I want Theus to hear it. And in solidarity with our friend Theus, who will be on the show tomorrow. Because right now, pretty sure that I'm gonna get a lot of texts from him tomorrow saying how miserable he is, but it's a good misery. I jumped on Theus a lot of times. I'm suck it up, bro. It's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what I'm talking about, but get over it. But because Theus is not here, I'll show everybody his favorite video.
Here you are, baby. Fresh baked pie, just for you. Where did you get this? I baked it from scratch. We don't have an oven. God helped me. Joseph, please. You see how that sounds, Mary?
Oh, Lord, it's one of my videos. You didn't see the video?
No.
Sorry, everybody. I want to show Foxy the video that I did tell her about, but she's never seen it before. So one more time.
Here you are, baby. Fresh baked pie, just for you. Where did you get this? I baked it from scratch. We don't have an oven. God helped me. Joseph, please. You see how that sounds, Mary?
Oh, God. Anna, tell everybody where they can find you.
You find me at brilliantetcetera.com or right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, and of course,
I'm assuming you're Le Québécois.
I appreciate Anna, and we will see everybody tomorrow. What we would do is just a recap of the Democratic National Convention. And until next time, we will see you when we see you. Peace. Oh, that's all I got. All I can come up with. I can't even hit none of those notes.